the consensus will be to get rid of Ayanokoji. What did I just say? Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Classroom of the Elite Season 3, Episode 7, titled People Will Do Anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own souls. And last episode. This new test has come up where they get to give positive and negative points. And the goal of this whole thing is to have one person be expelled from the class. The one with the with the most negative points will get to be expelled from the school. And the only way you can stop that from happening is by buying the expulsion back with 20 million private points or class points. Either way, 20 million points. Um, Ichinose went to Nagumo to ask for points in order, she doesn't have enough. So she went to him for points, and he's like, okay, I'm going to help you, but you're going to need to date me. She hasn't given an answer yet that we know of. So that's where the episode ended, I believe. And yeah, before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
Psychology and alchemy. Why is he like that? Who is he writing to?
みんな投票まで変に目立たないように必死ね。誰かを切り捨てる覚悟はできてるんじゃなかったのか。あなたまで龍炎君みたいなことを言うのね。
This is true though.
で、お前はどうするつもりなんだ。私は。
Mm-hmm.
兄さん、私はどうすれば向き合いますか。
Why do you keep saying brother? Like, you're your own person. Like, think with your own mind. Like, don't just be like not relying on your brother, or like be thinking, how will my brother do this? You're your own person. Do your own thing. I don't know. That complex of hers, he needs to do something about that. Hmm. I wonder. When I saw young Ayanokoji doing this, like with his hand over his heart or something, I don't know. My mom was just like, "Oh, he used to feel, but now he doesn't." I feel like at first was like a regular person, with feelings, but after having gone through the white room, all his feelings has been stripped out of him. That's what I'm thinking.
今帰り？朝比奈先輩。
Do I know
今日
you?
はほなみと一緒じゃないんだ。ほなみ、今回の特別試験に関して、みやびのやつに協力を依頼したみたい。
Who are you telling him?
ほなみにポイント貸す条件に、自分と交際しろって。いいんですか？そんなこと俺に教え。
No reaction.
守るために辛い思いをするなら、ほなみがかわいそうだからね。でもどうして俺に相談を？
Put herself through that.
もしかしたらの神頼み的な？
Oh, now I'm remembering her. If it wasn't for the little thing that she just showed, I would like completely skip my mind. She was the girl that gave info to Ayanokoji during that. Okay, okay. Now I'm placing her.
おや、奇遇だね。平田ボーイに綾小路ボーイじゃないか。
高円寺か。
仲間同士傷を舐め合いながら、 せいぜい不要なゴミを処理してくれたまえ。
That's what Ayanokoji was thinking.
綾小路君行こう。
What is Hirata's plan?
何度考えてもね。
He's the only one that could possibly help
全
them.
員を助ける方法って
Oh,
本当にないのかな。
悪いが思いつかない。だが平田は誰かの部分をいつまでも決められない。
it's gonna be up to you.
特定の誰かが退学になればいいとか思ってる。君は謙遜するけど、軽井沢さんの一件から僕は本気でそう考えているよ。
The incident with Karuizawa?
綾小路君からなんて珍しいね。
About the
どうしても直接話しておきたくてな。
collecting girls.
南雲生徒会長に協力を持ちかけたと思ったんだが。協力って？第三者からの協力は必要不可欠だ。そっか。朝比奈先輩だね。不足分はいくらなんだ？400万と少しってところかな。破格の条件だな。私たち B クラスが全員助かる方法は多分これしかない。そうか。軽蔑しないんだね。心配してくれたのかな。おこがましいやつだと思うかもしれないけどな。そんなことないよ。綾小路君と話さなかったらもっと潔く決断できたかもしれないから。ひょっとしてすごい人？悪いが自覚は全くないぞ。
He never feels that way.
だって綾小路君って。
Oh my gosh. These girls. Oh.
何なんだろう。何かあったの？
Yeah, things
お前も
changed.
感じたか？ちょっと嫌な感じね。
They feel
誰
confident.
か一人を蹴落とそうというグループが生まれたということか。出かねない。もしかしてこの中の誰かがもうターゲットにされてたりして。やめてよはるかちゃん。でも仲間を裏切ってまで学校に残りたいとは思わない。私も絶対に裏切ったりしないよ。
I wonder if, since, well, that's what we're assuming, that it's Ayanokoji's father that's behind this, that the consensus will be to get rid of Ayanokoji.
あんたみんなに退学させられそうに。
What did I just say?
そうか。
What did I just say? Or is he her doing?
何人くらい俺に投票するかわかるか？どうだろう。体感でクラスの半分近くは賛同してると思う。こういう時のためにお前がいるんだ。なるほど。知らせてもらって助かった。ありがとう。
Oh my gosh.
大丈夫かな？
Don't worry, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine.
俺を狙った首謀者が誰か知りたい。残念だけど教えたくても教えられないんだ。首謀者はまずお前に相談した。そしてお前の人脈を使って俺よりじゃないクラスメートに手を広げたんだな。私を頼ってきた人の信頼も裏切れないからね。なら聞き出せそうにないな。首謀者は山内くんだよ。なるほどな。本当の首謀者は坂柳か。
Exactly.
そこまでわかっちゃ。
Oh, but she came in there to say Yamauchi away.
前に坂柳は山内の
Uh-huh.
来てたしな。なんだ？あんたにやってほしいことがある。
There's no hello. There's no hello, hi, or anything. What is it? What do you want? It was that part of what he was supposed to do? Send her a text?
入学直後を入れなければ3年ぶりになります。
そうだな。それくらいに。
And then you try to hit her.
兄さん、私に勇気をください。立ち向かいたいんです。正面からこの試験に向き合い、納得のいく答えを出したいんです。
この学校はどうだ？楽しいか？
Nope.
楽しいかどうかは正直わかりません。
Mm-hmm.
ただ、退屈ではないです。
成績や人望という値しかお前の目には映っていない。
それは、私にとって兄さんは。
Eternal goal.
では綾小路はお前の目にはどう見える？
いつかは追いつき、追い抜きたい存在だと思っています。
残念だが、お前は綾小路に追いつけない。お前はお前らしく成長すればいい。
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Be yourself. Oh, girl.
距離を詰めるためには、お前は一歩前に出なければならない。
どうすれば。
だから話せ。お前が自分のクラスに何を問いかけるつもりなのかを。
山内の戦略は悪くない。だが押村区は坂柳の口車に乗って、
Mm-hmm.
動け堀北。今のお前なら動けるはずだ。
So what he asked the brother was had to do with her. Okay.
どういうことかな、堀北さん。
明日の投票について、どうしても話しておくことがあるの。
ってあるんだけどさ。
明日には誰かが退学するかもしれないのに、随分と余裕なのね。
それは。
この数日間、私なりに考えていた。誰が残るべきで、誰が退学すべきなのか。
退学すべき人なんて一人もいないよ。
話は最後まで聞いてちょうだい。私は最初から疑問だ。本来クラスに残るべき優秀な生徒が退学する危険性すらある。こんなもの試験とは呼べないわ。
聞かせてくれないかい？君がどうしたいのか。
本来なら全員で話し合って退学者を絞り込むべき。退学すべき人を私から名指しさせてもらう。
ダメだよ、みんなを混乱させるだけだ。
Yamauchi?
山内、
Mm-hmm.
あなたよ。
You know what I was started thinking? When Yamauchi in the previous episode bumped what was it? Sakayanagi. And she had this look on her face, and I'm like, oh, you're about to die. And I posted a short about it. And then in the episode where she came and wanted to speak to him, like, oh, there you go. He's about to die. She's about to do something to, I'm like, not die, like dead, but you know what I mean. She has a plan for this dude, and I'm like, took him away. She took him away. I'm like, I don't know what they talked about. And then this episode, they started thinking. No, they started. People were just like anxious, like all over the place. And then at one point, the atmosphere switched in the class, and Horikita's like, "What's going on? Something's changed. I don't like it." And they both, her and Ayanokoji, came up with the plausible conclusion that they've probably come up with someone that they wanted to expel. And then it turns out that the person that they wanted to expel was Ayanokoji, and that Yamauchi was the one that was convincing people, I guess, of that. And I was like, It is now the consequence of you bumping into Sakayanagi or making her trip. That's what she's got for you. You're getting expelled. Okay? Because I don't believe at all that she thought for a second that she was gonna be able to get Ayanokoji expelled through Yamauchi. I don't believe that for a second. No, I don't believe that. So this is her getting him expelled for having tripped her. Oh my goodness. See, it all came full circle. Because I'm like, the look she gave him when that happened, he's like, oh no, don't worry about it. I'm like, nah, you better worry about it. And now this is the consequence. You're gonna get expelled. So, and I don't mind. I actually want him to go, to be honest. Because at first, I said in a previous episode, at first, I didn't particularly care whether he was here or not. Like, he was a student there. We've been seeing all these students. Some are, they focus more on some of them and not on some of the others. But if few of the times that I've seen Yamauchi there, he's like, I don't particularly care one way or the other. He was just there. But it was during the episode where those rumors started going around, and the way he was just like fanning the flames, I did not like it at all. So the fact that he did this and now he's on the chopping block, I'm good. Go away. We don't need you at all. So how did they came down to that? To Yamauchi leaving? This test has been on everyone's mind. People are just afraid, like all over the place. They are nervous. How are we going to do this? Should we give each other positive points? But then again, it's like you also need to give negative points, and someone needs to go. So who's gonna go? They were just like all over the place, and like I said, the atmosphere in the class was not that good. And Hirata was also feeling it, and then he's like, Ayanokoji, I need to talk to you. As they were gonna go into Ayanokoji's room, they met Koenji on the way. He just walked past them, just told them to people find a way to get us out of not get us out of this, but find the one person that to expel or something or other like that. He didn't particularly care about anything. This guy usually doesn't care about these exams. He doesn't do anything to help the class or anything like that. So when this one also came, he's like, yeah, take care of it. I don't care. Hirata was angry, of course. And then they go into the room and he's like, he wanted to ask Ayanokoji whether there was any way that they could get out of this, that no one can get expelled. And we straight up told him, no, that's not happening. Someone has got to go. And he made him realize that, right? But there was really nothing else that came of that meeting. He just basically was like, he was so calm, so cool-headed, especially with the thing with Karuizawa. And I'm like, what happened with Karuizawa? Was talking about the bullying. I'm guessing he's talking about the bullying that happened. But either way, nothing else came of that. It was just Ayanokoji telling him that someone needs to go. That was basically the underlining conclusion of the meeting between them two. So they see, I believe it was after that when they go to the class, the atmosphere changed. It was more positive. People were more relaxed. And then Horikita's like, I don't like this. What's going on? And then Ayanokoji is like, okay, probably came up with someone that they've agreed to expel. So after that, Ayanokoji had a meeting with his group of friends. And they were wondering whether the person that they wanted to expel was from their group, since none of them know who it was. It has to be from their group, right? And I'm like, it's probably Ayanokoji. Because I was thinking, if this whole exam test has been a ploy from his father to get him expelled, then um then the person that these people wanted to expel has got to be Ayanokoji. And when he talked to Karuizawa, she confirmed it that it was him that they wanted to expel. And it's like, okay, thank you for telling me that. And he called Kushida. You know when before Kushida showed up, they showed the maid card or whatever. Excuse me, and it was her. And I was thinking, wait, is she the one that's convincing people to get Ayanokoji expelled? You know she's good with people. She's good at with her influence all over the students. She can get them to expel to try to expel Ayanokoji if she wanted. So when she showed up in the mid card, I'm like, wait, is it her doing? But then when her and Ayanokoji started talking, and she's like, she knows who it is, but she's not gonna tell him just like that. And Ayanokoji made it seem like, okay, I guess if you're not gonna tell me, then okay. I felt like he did that. It was some kind of reverse psychology kind of thing that she was expecting him to ask or beg or something or other, but when that didn't happen, she decided to volunteer that information. And she's like, it's Yamauchi. And Ayanokoji immediately countered that it's Sakayanagi, right? And she's like, huh, so you figure it out. And I'm like, well, duh. Of course he figured it out. If it's Yamauchi that's trying to convince people, that means it came from Sakayanagi because Sakayanagi showed up in the class and we know that he wants there's something going on between Sakayanagi and Ayanokoji. She declared war, I guess, on him, even though she told him that they were gonna be paused on their thing for now. He still influenced Yamauchi to get the others to expel, Ayanokoji. So it's like, of course he's gonna know. And I understood it immediately, you know. And after that, Ayanokoji called Manabu and he's like, I need your he didn't say I need your he said I need your help. Either way, he wanted his assistance with this. And the very next scene is Horikita showing up with her brother and he was telling him to give her courage. And then they had this whole discussion where Horikita is like, you're my eternal goal. I'm like, I don't know. Your eternal goal cannot be be your brother. Like, okay. And then Manabu asked her, so what about Ayanokoji? And she's like, he's someone that she looks up to and wants to surpass sometimes in the future. And I'm like, nah, that's not happening. And then the brother's also like, nah, that's not happening. You are not surpassing Ayanokoji. And but you still should just be you. Okay, and that's what I've been saying all this time. It's like you are looking at your brother like all the time, and like, and then you like, okay, I'm gonna want to surpass Ayanokoji. I mean, it's a goal, I guess, but just be you. Don't be just be focusing on your brother or Ayanokoji. It's like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, you know. Uh, so with that, he basically, I guess, what Ayanokoji wanted um Manabu to do is sort of like push Horikita to become more clear-headed, I guess, and more assertive in her decision making or something or other like that. Because right after that, that's when she's like, okay, people, I want to talk to you guys. And then she like walked in front of the others and it's like, I want to tell you who we should be expelling. And it should be Yamauchi. Yep. Yamauchi, you're about to go. And I feel like, okay, when they're talking about a dead weight, I guess, in the class, He's definitely one of them. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm like, when I look at him, I'm like, among all the people there, even though I want Kushida gone, she's more useful than Yamauchi in the class. Okay, she's way more useful than Yamauchi, and I haven't seen. Like, I'm trying to remember with all the special exam and things that they've done so far. I'm trying to see what exactly did Yamauchi do that I could say has been instrumental in the classes moving forward, in the class T moving forward. You know, I don't see anything that he's done. Even what's his name? The one that's like sitting right next to him that they were talking to each other or whatever. At least during the first survival test, he's the one that found, because he's so used to being in nature, he's the one that found, that water spot thing where the class stayed and all of that. And with hunting food and finding food and all those things, survival skills, he was instrumental during that exam. At least he like did something. I don't remember Yamauchi having done anything at all to help this class. Even when you look at Sudo, yes, when it comes to academics, he's not that great at it. But when it came to the sports festival thing, he was instrumental in that. You know, who else? I don't know, but he hasn't done anything. You have not done anything. And you're the one that's pushing to get Ayanokoji, who's way smarter and has gotten everybody out of deep trouble. And you want him to go. Are you freaking kidding me? Bye bye, Yamauchi. Bye bye. We don't need you. Go away. Is there anything else that happened this episode? Uh-huh. Ichinose. What was her name? Asahina Senpai approached Ayanokoji and told him about the deal that Ichinose made with Nagumo, and that she doesn't want Ichinose to go through that. When she said that, I'm like, what ordeal would Ichinose go through that she doesn't want her to? It, because the deal was for Ichinose to date Nagumo, right? So is it the dating part of, is it dating Nagumo that's the ordeal? Or is it the way people are gonna be targeting Ichinose or dating Nagumo that's gonna be the ordeal? Like, is he Nagumo the person himself? Or is it something else? I'm wondering about that. But it's because of that she told Ayanokoji about the deal that Ichinose and Nagumo made. So because of that, Ayanokoji called Ichinose over, and then they were talking about it. And I thought that he was gonna try to dissuade Ichinose from doing this, but that wasn't it. He just wanted to see where she was, I guess, when it comes to this whole thing. Unless they talked about something else that the show hasn't shown us. It didn't seem like he convinced her or dissuaded her from this path. It just seems like he just wanted to touch base with her and make sure that she was okay with this decision that she was making. And I'm like, she was feeling all blushy. Like, she was just blushing and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Ayanokoji, you are just collecting girls, man. He's collecting them all over the place. There goes Ichinose. I'm even wondering if Asahina Senpai is also gonna be someone that's gonna fall under his spells. You never know. But yeah, so there was that. Mm, is there anything else? No, I don't think there's anything else. So thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment. So you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous Classroom of the Elite reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Cause I gotta bring him back to the fold. I'm gonna mom it back in the fold. But I better get a quick up, and a hole in the road. But another back to the ball.